So I saw Shame a couple of days ago and I cannot believe it wasn't nominated for anything at the Academy Awards, so prepare for a rant. Now I watched The Descendants as well, and I'm going to try and compare the two of them and not be biased, but you may get a little hint that I favoured one over the other. So, Shame. Shame is near perfect as a film in just about every way. It stars our very own Michael Fassbender, raised in Kerry, kind of like me, which means nothing, but anyway, so the plot is 30-something Brandon Sullivan is a New Yorker who is basically addicted to sex. So the film has a lot of sex in it. I was like, great, who doesn't like nudity in a film? But after the 4th or 5th girl or girls, you start to feel really sorry for this dude. He can't go anywhere without having sex. He can't go to work without thinking about having sex with the secretary. This dude literally has a problem. There's a scene towards the end of the film where he's in an orgy with 2 girls and he literally stares down the camera and you feel like he's looking at you. He completely smashes the 3rd wall. He's just saying, help me. He literally has an addiction and it ruins his life because his sister, called Sissy, which I suppose is like, look, it's his sister, moves in with him for a while, and her invading his apartment and his life shows him that he has a problem, and he tries to go out with a girl that he meets in work and he goes on a date and she's very charming, and when he gets her into bed he can't perform, and the scene literally ends with her leaving the hotel room after him not being able to perform to immediately him calling a prostitute and then having sex with the prostitute. He can't even get with a girl that he likes. The sex has to be meaningless for it to actually work, and his life is like falling apart. Like, it's really like the music itself, like, take a listen. Like that enough was just, I was just like planted on my seat. I couldn't fucking move, and then that coupled with his just perfect performance, it just had me from the very start to the very end. So it was an independent film, shot on a budget of about 6 million. They shot it all in New York, and the director was the same dude who did Hunger, which Fassbender starred in as well, which if you haven't seen, fucking hell, that's another serious performance. So overall I'd give that film like a strong 9 out of 10. Everything, the music, the cinematography, the picture, acting, everything was near perfect. Now at the Emmys he was nominated for Best Actor but lost to George Clooney, who just starred in The Descendants. Now I just saw The Descendants a couple of hours ago. I don't see it. I don't see it. The Descendants is after getting 4 or 5 nominations in the Oscars, and like The Descendants is about George Clooney. He plays Matt King, who lives in Hawaii, and his wife has an accident at the very start of the film and she's in a coma, and it's basically him coming to the terms but he's not ever going to talk to his wife again. His 2 daughters are now fully dependent on him, as he calls himself a backup parent, and it turns out that the wife, while healthy and alive, was cheating on him with this other dude who he then tries to track down to give him a chance to say goodbye to his wife, which is just completely, what? Why would you do that? Clooney is good in it. Like, the supporting actors were good, especially that dopey dude.
What can I say?
You're welcome. And the daughter is hot, and spends most of the film in a bikini, which is great, but it got like 4 or 5 Oscars. How? Like, Clooney spends most of the time trying to reconnect his daughter, who's in boarding school and has a problem with drink apparently, trying to track down this real estate agent that his comatose wife was sleeping with. And that's most of the film, and then there's a thing about property which they kind of stick in at the end to show that he's learned something when he wants to sell land, and then it turns out he doesn't want to sell land because he's learned something from the end of this film, and that's how they show that they learned it. But again, in comparison, I didn't see it at all. I don't understand the Academy's way of thought. Like, it reminds me of when Inception lost out hugely to The Social Network, especially with soundtrack, because the soundtrack from Inception was all, and then for The Social Network was all like electro shite. What the fuck? How did that happen? I'm sorry, well, you asked for reviews and I got really worked up about this whole Shame thing. So let me know what you think down in the comments below, or in a video response. No one's really ever done that before. Is there anybody out there that actually makes video responses? So yeah, just go out and see Shame if you can, or download it or whatever, and then watch The Descendants as well, and just let me know. I'm sorry if I ruined the 2 for you already, but if you haven't seen them, let me know what you think and tell me below, because I don't want to have this argument with someone because it's wrecking my head. But anyway, right, rant over. So I'll see you next time and good luck.